And we're back.
Yay!
Welcome to the AutoAuthorities Podcast. My name is Jay Grossman. I am the founder and CEO of iAutoAgent, and this is Mr.
David Marks with Quality Auto STL, the home of trusted services with no surprises.
All right, we are back, and we have an amazing show for you today. And we always do.
For real.
This is a topic that people are talking about, not just with us, but there's just so many factors involving this used car bubble that we keep hearing about. And it kind of reminds me of the bubble. Remember back in 2000 with the tech bubble, how it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And some people don't remember that, but it's pretty crazy on what's happening here. And today, by the end of this episode, you are going to find out if that bubble is bursting by me and David Marks. Are you ready to do this?
Absolutely.
All right.
Have you ever felt like you were taken for a ride when buying, selling, or repairing your car? Well, not anymore. I'm Jay.
And I'm Dave.
And this is the podcast that tells you what to watch out for, whether you're buying, selling,
or repairing your car.
With 47 years of automotive experience, we are the Automotive Authorities. This podcast is sponsored by iAutoAgent. We're real estate agents for cars.
And Quality Auto STL. Trusted services with no surprises.
Boom! Booyah!
All right, welcome back. For those of you just joining us to the Auto Authorities Podcast, we are talking about, is the used car bubble bursting now? And you will get that answer by the end of this program. And before we get going, I'd like to thank our sponsors, iAutoAgent.com. iAutoAgent.com basically helps you sell your car much like a real estate agent would sell a home, and they handle everything from the selling of the car, the showing of the car, the marketing of the car, and they also take care of the sticky money transaction at no cost to you. And if you're looking to buy a car nationwide, they will help you navigate the entire process, do it for you. You don't have to step foot in a dealer until you approve the deal. And next to me is Mr. David Marks with Quality Auto STL, trusted services with no surprises. And boy, oh boy, if you are listening right now, you are lovely, lovely, lovely. You're going to get a lovely episode, but you can watch us live if you would like on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time on Facebook groups, the Facebook group page. You simply click the join group button, and you can join the group. And then you can also watch us on YouTube as well, recorded. And you just click the subscribe button. And you can also be notified for all of our new episodes by clicking the little button or the little bell in the right-hand corner. Woo, we got a lot going on. Oh, and then we have a little gift for you, but we're not going to tell you what that is now. We're going to wait. So, Dave, in your mind, why do you think that we are in this, what we call this used car bubble right now?
I mean, it goes back to when, COVID popped up in February, March 2020. It's been, 2 years ago. And it's just been a domino effect and how that affected different industries and how it relates to. I mean, Jay, it goes back to, the American car factories, at least U.S. production, shut down, and then home electronics went through the roof. So it's the law of economics, supply and demand. The auto industry didn't have a demand for chips. Well, the home electronics, laptops, microwaves, these cameras we're using to record these podcasts, went through the roof, and those all required chips. So the chip manufacturers went there. They went to where the demand was, and there was a supply.
Yep. And so basically what happened is when they shut down, because the chip manufacturers were they were providing all these chips to the car manufacturers. And it was a bad move on the car manufacturers because they basically said, hey, we don't need any more chips. Even though you're producing them, we don't need any more chips. So they found elsewhere to sell the chips. Well, then everybody was told we could come back outside our homes again. So there was a massive amount of demand for new and used cars. But what you guys have to know is that the used car supply is really based on how many new cars the dealerships are selling. So the more cars they sell, the more trade-ins they get. The more trade-ins we get, we increase the supply. Well, right now they're way down in production, and frankly, if the dealerships can't get these vehicles, they are just they're going to the street. They're trying to buy cars at the auction. Everybody's trying to buy the same car, and it's supply and demand. And that is
the other thing I think people need to consider is for decades, at least the so-called big three, their manufacturing process has been on what's called just in time. That means that their supplier makes the part for them just in time when it's needed on the assembly line. And it's not like they have a huge stock of just parts, what fill in the blank, whatever it is, just sitting around. So no, they don't. They didn't have a backup supply, and the manufacturers that had a backup supply survived. The ones that didn't, Ford and General Motors, got hit the hardest. I mean, this really kind of validated or showed the big weakness. Just in time has worked for decades. This goes back to Henry Ford 100-something years ago, and when something like this happened, it showed how vulnerable just in time really is.
Yeah, and we have now what we call a lopsided market. There are vehicles right now that are being sold 2019s, 2020s. There are even some even older than that for what they originally sold for new, and some selling more than what they sold for new. And we all know that is not going to last. And do you remember previous podcasts ago, a new number of them back last year, I predicted that we are going to have a break in this at the end of second quarter that's going to really hit hard once those chips start coming back in. Now, the chips aren't coming in as fast as they were before, obviously, but it's gonna definitely hit the used car market, which is a good thing. And that I'm gonna still stick with my prediction. I don't have a crystal ball, but I mean, crap, do this every single day. It's pretty crazy. I mean, this has never been seen before. So we'll answer the question that you guys want to know, but what's happening right now is I think because of the media, there are two different types of customers out there. One that says, I'll wait. And I think that is the majority, is like, I'll wait till this thing stops. I don't need a car right now. And we'll talk a little bit about more your arena here before the end of this, because your arena has not been affected by this, only positive. And then you've got the people that says, I'll wait. And then you've got the people that says FOMO, fear of missing out. And they're out there scrambling to get a car. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out, because nobody really knows what's going to happen. We can only make predictions on this. It's pretty nuts. And then what's going on in the stock market, Dave?
Well, the stock market went up, if I remember correctly, yesterday.
It's volatile, though.
Yeah, it's extremely volatile, and that's all has to do with Putin invading Ukraine. Ukraine is full of natural resources, and there's crude oil and natural gas all that is not going to be exported out of Ukraine anymore. And oil is actually above $100 a barrel for the first time since 2014. Because, you know, I mean, I think, well, I don't want to get into my theories on why Putin invaded Ukraine. I do follow and I do pay attention to it because it does affect the U.S. Economy. But that's not really what we're here for.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But that plays a huge effect. It plays an effect on the psychology of what people are thinking, how this is. Everything is a trickle down effect, isn't it? You know,
absolutely.
It always is. It's a domino effect. When this happens, that happens. And when that happens, that happens. And when that happens.
That's why oil went up because there's a demand and now the supply is limited because there's no exports coming out of Ukraine. I mean, there's a pipeline that runs from Russia through Ukraine to Eastern Europe to supply Europe with natural gas. How much longer is that going to last?
Right. Well, here's the other piece too is let's talk about the people that said that they're going to wait. Well, the people that said they're going to wait, let's talk about new cars first. If you wait for a new car, what do we see right now massively that's going on with prices?
They're
up.
Yeah.
Inflation. And I mean, here, I just went to a restaurant the other day. I'm like, $16. And now here in St. Louis, this isn't a lot. This was a $10, you know, I don't know. My wife got a grilled chicken Caesar wrap and it should have been like, you know, $9.99, $10.99. She was $16. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is happening over and over and over again.
Me and Suzanne went out last night. I got a couple appetizers, and she got a salad, no more difference, like a chicken Caesar salad. And we got 2 waters. It was $44.
I know. Yeah. So basically, you know, if you wait and you're looking for a new vehicle, you're going to wind up paying more. Prices are not going down. They are being raised. And here's what happens on the new car side. The used car side. We are now starting to see a decline in prices. So let's talk about that a little bit. One of the pieces of data that Cox Automotive uses is the retail supply was 50 days in December and 56 days in January, and it's trending up for February. And what that means is it is the amount of time it takes on a retail side for a car dealer to sell a vehicle. So it has gone up, 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 which means demand is going down, down, down. When demand goes down, 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 prices go down, down, down. Let's talk about it a little further. So the prices of cars for used cars are up 30% year over year still, according to Cox Automotive as well. So the prices are still way up, but we're starting to see some indicators that prices might starting to be going down, down, down. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually kind of shocked, at this, and I agree with you. I think that, you know, we're going to see the bubble. It's going to be a slow exhale. I don't think it's going to be anything dramatic that happens over time. However, whether you're a consumer or you're guys like me and you, if you're not paying attention to this on a regular basis, you're going to end up overpaying, whether the consumer overpays and they don't realize it, or guys like me and you, how we acquire our vehicles to sell, we overpay and we find out because nobody wants to pay what we need to make our normal margins. and we have to either break even or take something at a loss. I'm like, wow, I wish I would have paid better attention.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, but then what I want to do is I want to come back to you, Mr. David Marks, and I want to talk about, in your industry right now and the difference between what you do and the price range and how that's affecting you. We're going to make our prediction here in a little bit. And then we also are going to have our free gift. But before we do that, I wanted to thank our sponsors, iAutoAgent.com. iAutoAgent will literally, real estate agents for cars will sell your car. They'll take care of the marketing, the showings, and the money transaction at no cost to you. And I would say if the bubble is bursting, you better sell your car and get the top dollar now, because for all of those of you who have ever missed a bus, whether it be a school bus or just any bus, you may be leaving money on the table. There's no timing in this market, that's for sure. And then we have Mr. David Marks with Quality Auto STL, trusted services with no surprises. And finally, if you would like to watch us live on Facebook, you just go to the Facebook group, the Auto Authorities Podcast, click join group, and you can see our pretty faces at 9 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday night. And also, if you'd like to watch us on YouTube recorded, you simply just go to YouTube, the Auto Authorities Podcast YouTube page, and you click subscribe. And you can also be notified for all the wonderful podcasts that we're doing. And we broadcast this onto 19 other different channels, so you can listen to it on iTunes and Pandora and Amazon, all those wonderful things. But let's get right back into it here. So now we're talking about, is the used car bubble bursting now? We're starting to see prices decline right now. We're starting to see things not getting back to normal, but some chips starting to come back in. We've seen what prices are doing as far as inflation. Let's talk about the cars that you specialize in, Mr. David Marks. You like what kind of cars? Let's tell the listeners.
Well, pre-COVID, it used to be stuff that I could sell between 3,000 and 6,000. Okay, well, that's now turned from 3 to 6 to 5 to 8. I mean, it made that big of a jump, and it made that jump because the people that would buy cars, let's just say, Jay, at the level that you sell and even above that, they see that and they get sticker shocked. Like, wow. So now they trickle down to that space, and there's actually a limited supply of good quality vehicles or cars, trucks, whatever, in that price range. And with the demand, the price went up.
That's right.
And this has also helped my repair business. I've replaced more engines and transmissions than ever. I had a guy last week. I told him he needed a transmission. He didn't ask the price. He just fix it.
It's interesting you said that, and you just made me think of something. So what this has also helped is our buyer's agent program, where we help people buy vehicles nationwide, because they're like, I do not want to navigate buying a vehicle right now. It is absolutely the hardest thing in the world. We have so many buyer's agents we're working with right now. And this is something I've also noticed, is when somebody wants something, they put it on Facebook. Every single post, and I get tagged on these a lot because of our reputation, they all want under $10,000 vehicles.
Yeah.
All of them do. Nobody's saying I want a $25,000 to $30,000 vehicle. They want under 10,000, because what I think people are doing, well, number one, they want them for their kids, some of them. But what I think people are doing is they're trying to wait out this storm until these prices drop. And why get yourself into some
They're just trying to get by for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that segment, and we talked about this prior to going on, is going to be the last segment to be affected by the bubble burst. And I agree with you. because the public isn't watching the media and paying attention to this as closely as me and you do. I mean, me and you, Jay, we both follow the chip shortage. We both follow the big boys. What's their inventory? What's going on? What's Mannheim doing? Mannheim is owned by Cox Automotive.
Mhm.
What are their numbers? So we pay attention to this so we can be prepared, but your average consumer isn't. So I think there's going to be a lot of people that will buy that $8,000 car when in reality it's worth $7,000, but they pay the $8,000 because they don't know any better.
Yep. I mean, prices still being up 30%. I mean, that's across the board. That's not just every vehicle out there. And that's why you are now seeing the 6,000 to 8,000 versus the 3,000 to 5,000. And
it's the same car.
Yeah.
The car hasn't changed. I mean, the quality of the same stuff I'm selling is the same stuff. It says it's no different. And I think the other side of this is that's why all those repair shops and dealerships are busy. People aren't buying stuff. They see that they don't want to pay the sticker shock, so they just it's $6,500 for a transmission. Fix it. Your car needs all this work. It's $4,000. Fix it.
Yeah,
it's just fix it.
Yeah, I definitely see that pattern, and yeah, it's such a weird world that we live in. And the other thing that I have heard too, just from my readings, is these manufacturers are not going to start mass producing these cars anymore like they were doing before. And that's going to be really interesting, where you're not going to have a bunch of cars on the lot.
Ford's talked about doing that, Jay, about doing just that. They want to order where you order it, and then we'll make it. Like, they'll still have a supply on the lot. Don't get me wrong. They'll always have that. However, where maybe they used to have 100 F-150s, now they have 50 or 60.
Yeah, because if you think about it, and just think about the economics of it, is with Ford, let's just use Ford as an example.
Because they've come out and said this. I haven't heard them talk about this for a while, but I remember one of the things they found is like, wow, we can do this and we can reduce our cost and still hit the same margin as we used to.
Correct. And think about it this way, is if you're the manufacturer and you're producing all these vehicles and you're flooding them into the dealer, and the dealers are trying to sell them as fast as they can, there's a huge cost, not just with the manufacturer, but for the dealer as well, because the manufacturer is spending all this money to produce these cars and they're sitting there on the lot. And then the then the dealers are like trying to scramble too. And they have to, so it's kind of an interesting thing on how dealers work. They have what you call a floor plan, where they basically are buying these vehicles and putting the money up front, and the manufacturers aren't necessarily getting that money right away either. So there's all this money sitting out there. There's all this capital, but there's not the cash flow. And that's really what, you have a business, I have a business. That's what I look at is, I don't have to, the way that our program works is we don't have to put that capital out. We do it every now and then, but we're not putting a lot of it out. So the risk factor is much lower. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. There'll be a little bit of stock for the lots, but
will the other big boys follow this? Will General Motors follow it? Will Honda follow it? Will they all just follow suit? Or will they just pump them out there because, hey, we've got the vehicle, because people that I've talked to is that, Ford does that. Well, if they don't have it and Ram's got it or Chevrolet's got it with that same featured options, what's going to keep that customer going down the street? Although the contradict that, we both know the truck segment is the most loyal segment out of them all. Is Ford just going to apply it to that? Or are they going to apply it to their SUVs, or how are they going to apply this?
I don't know. And that's a good question that you don't know. And I think if I were to make a prediction on that, I think you don't ever want to be the first person to try anything. And
no,
I don't.
We've talked about that in previous episodes.
Yeah. So I would say that they're going to watch and they're going to look at their numbers and they're going to watch and see if Ford has made a smart decision, or maybe it's going to hurt Ford. Because here's why. When people need vehicles, they need vehicles. And when they want a vehicle, they'll buy that vehicle. And if that vehicle is not available at that place, then they'll go somewhere else and buy it.
Right.
So
And will this keep dealers from, because dealers, when they got big inventories, they'll buy and sell amongst each other. If that inventory is not there, what's that going to do to one Ford trying to buy something from another Ford?
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, and I think that the used car market bubble is bursting right now, and just like you said, it's a slow bursting right now. Like there's a little hole. It's like a tire, right? It slowly.
It is. It's just like a tire, and I think that whether you're in the business like me and you, or you're a consumer, if you're not paying attention to this, you're going to find out you overpaid, whether trying to buy it to sell it or buy it for a consumer, and you're going to find out you're going to buy something, then you're going to see on the news that prices have dropped dramatically, and you're going to go, oh, what did I just do? That's why. And again, we've talked about this before, Jason. The average consumer having the relationship with guys like me and you, we help the consumers prevent from either overpaying and or underpaying too. You can underpay as well and wind up having to fix a bunch of stuff.
Well, yeah. Well, underpaying means the fact that you bought something that is probably going to, frankly, is going to cost you more. But yes, I truly believe that the market is starting to burst right now. It'll be interesting to see how fast that goes. So I would say this: if you're looking to sell a car, do it now. Do it now. And you'll also see when you do start selling the cars, it's a little bit easier to get new vehicles now, a little bit, depending on what you're looking at. We had helped a couple people here recently, and there's cars on the lot that we actually found, on the lot. So that's that's my expert opinion. That's Mr. David Mark's expert opinion. And then basically, I would just be thinking about selling your car right now if you have thought about selling it, and start putting some feelers out on how you're going to get that next car. Obviously, we'll be happy to help you at iAutoAgent. But I think that pretty much solves it. Let's you want to do our giveaway?
Do you think they deserve it?
Always. This is our
of course they do. We appreciate you listen. So
yeah, and we love the comments too. Like there's been a ton of comments and feedback. Oh, and we should talk about this. I forgot our new website, the AutoAuthorities.com. So if you go to our website, the AutoAuthorities.com, the AutoAuthorities.com, you can actually leave us comments now on our website, and watch all of our podcasts, the AutoAuthorities.com. And for those of you that are still with us, we have that gift for you. We have written a book called the How to Buy a Car Without the Nonsense. You simply take out your phone, go to your text message, and text the word car, CAR, to 57838, and you can get our free ebook, How to Buy a Car Without the Nonsense. And you will get updates on all of our podcasts coming down the road. We have had such a great run. We are pushing 1 year anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We love it, everybody. We love helping you. We love helping the public. That's why what we do. So, Mr. David Marks, till the next time, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, sir.
All right. The used car bubble is bursting now. Go sell your car. See you later.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.